Hey everyone, Summer here with AstariaSen, and I'm going to do a hashtag today of myself in tarot. Now, I've been watching other people do this. It's originally done by Hazel Jane Tarot, and I will leave descriptions or links down in the description for you guys, as well as the questions, because there are 5 questions, and that relates to yourself in tarot. So I could also pick, according to what I watched from her, you could also pick from different decks. So it didn't have to be just one single deck to tell your story. So here I am doing that. And it should surprise nobody that I picked Fae decks. Come on. You didn't really expect anything less, right? Like, really. So the first question, and I'm going to try to make this quick and easy. The first question is, what is your personality or soul card in tarot? And you use the date of your birthday, you add it all up to get to one number. My number is 8, and it's strength. Mine is strength. Well, if you're going by RWS, in the other version, it's something else, but I don't relate to that one as well, so I go with strength. So this is a card from the Fairy Tarot, and I think strength represents me pretty well. I've been through a lot in my life. I've done a lot of things, and I can still be soft about what I'm doing. And when I need to be aggressive, I can be. Like, the cat in this is fantastic. I've always related to cats for one thing. And strength is often shown with some form of cat, like a lion or something like that. I've seen it with bears and other animals too, but often it's with like a cat form. But I also find cats very feminine too. So, I mean, there's that. Anyways, but I think that strength represents this lifeline for me a great deal because of all of the stuff that's happened in my past, you know, the loss of my mom, the traumas that I've lived through, and those kinds of things. So I feel like strength is a good balance for me this lifetime, I guess you would call it. Because I think my life path number is 8 as well. Go figure. But I picked this one out of the Fairy Tarot because it's a fairy cuddling up with a kitty, and well, I like cuddling with my kitty too. Sasha, we call her Demon Lord Sasha. She's the Demon Lord princess. Anyways, I do think it reflects me well, and I wouldn't want a different card, I don't think. So number 2, what card corresponds to your sun sign? I'm a Capricorn, and the devil is what corresponds to my sun sign. Does it reflect me? I do think it does. I do not use it as a signifier card when I'm reading. I don't use signifier cards really when I'm reading unless I'm asked to. So I picked this one, of course, again, out of the Fairy Tarot, which is this tarot deck, in case you guys were curious, this Fairy Tarot, because there's lots of Fairy Tarots. But this one right here I chose because the devil is kind of like fun, and I mean, you can see all sorts of things going on in the background, you know, but the devil, I think, gets a bad rep. And it's often depicted as really heavily related to addictions and not being able to get away from that. But I think there's more to the devil than that. There's a not just a personality type. I mean, addiction is there, and it's an addiction to anything, or a struggle with the self in many different forms. A lot of people associate it with just material possessions, but it's also mental, I think, because you can be addictive to a certain way of thinking and chain yourself up into that way of thinking as well. For me, the devil card representing reflecting me, I think, works. I do have an addictive personality disorder. It's not like I'm not into drugs or anything like that, but I am crafts, and I'm highly addicted to crafts. And when I start on something, I tend to want to go all out and get everything of it and just keep going. And addiction runs in my family. My mother was an alcoholic. Most of my families are alcoholics or some form of druggies, except for like me and my grandmother, which is the weirdest thing ever. And my grandma was an alcoholic at one point, but she stopped. I've never been an alcoholic. I've always regulated myself very, very, very well. I never wanted to be an alcoholic. I watched my mom go through it. I watched a lot of my family members go through it, and I was not going to do it. And I like drinking. I will admit it. I really, really like drinking. And, you know, I was a smoker at one point. So, I mean, there was that addiction to smoking. I quit that as well. But there's also, for me, an addictive idea of emotions that goes with the devil card for me. I like the feeling of love, and I like the feeling of caring. And for some people, it's other things like anger or adrenaline or something like that. But I think that we get caught up in our own mental, like, willingness to feel things and non-willingness to feel things. And I think that's a big part of the devil card. And I work a lot mentally on myself, on my willpower, and on my ability to do things and not be overwhelming about it. That I think the devil definitely reflects in my personality. But, you know, the devil is also fun too. Like, it's not just a bad card. It's about having fun, being able to go out and have fun. And I think that there's this balance. You use your willpower. You go out and you have fun, or you go out and you buy crafts, and be able to have the willpower to only buy the crafts you need. Now, I don't have that willpower. I'll be upfront. I do not have that willpower. But I do have willpower in other areas. Okay, the next question is, which cards reflect how you see yourself presenting in the world, like how you interact with others? And you choose these consciously. Well, I am. And the lady, Hazel Jane, did in her video as well. So I picked 2 cards, and I picked it out of the Fae Tarot, which is this one right here, the Fae Tarot. I picked 8 of Pentacles, because it represents that creativity, the creation, art, stuff like that. And I'm an artist. And I think that really reflects in how I present myself out into the world. I think most people do see me as some kind of creative person. So I picked that card. And then the other one I picked is the Star card, because I'm a very optimistic person, and I tend to bring that to other people as well, always looking for the better aspect, the brighter side, the hope in the lost causes, the hope in all the horrible things going on in somebody else's life. And I tend to bring that out into the world and really rely on that in interacting with people. Okay, 4, which card reflects your approach to spirituality? I am choosing Ace of Wands. I chose it out of the Fae Tarot specifically because she has like this branch growing out of her back. And I think spirituality comes from within, and then you start within, and then you grow out. And by growing out, I mean, like, you try to reach out to the divine, or you try to reach out to your spirit, to the spirituality you're trying to connect with. And so that's why I chose this card specifically, because, and I'm also new at my spirituality. I'm only a couple years into it, and I'm still like learning where I want things to be in my spirituality, and what I want to do with it, and how far I'm willing to go, and the kind of routines, rituals that I'm bringing forth in my spiritual process. So I'm doing a lot of growing, and I'm growing out as well as in. So that's why I picked that card. And the last card, which card best represents you as a tarot reader? Okay, I went to Shadowscapes because Shadowscapes definitely reflects me. And Shadowscapes is also one of the first decks I started tarot reading with. So yay me, right? And I chose the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is an interesting card in general. The Hermit is often, you know, that inner reflection and stuff like that. But I'm kind of a hermit when it comes to my tarot reading. I am always seeking, and you can see the Hermit in this card, like seeking out towards the world with his little light and everything, and looking out towards the great beyond and everything, and standing up on this high place to try to reach out further. Like, he's even above the birds. So he's definitely out there. He's trying, he's searching, he's exploring, he's internally seeking, he's internally working things out. And that's where I'm at tarot-wise. I have been told by several friends that I should read tarot for people, but I'm not overly keen on the idea of reading tarot for other people. I enjoy tarot readings. I enjoy tarot readings for myself, and I do go to a tarot group on Tuesdays. Well, it's once a month now because of the coronavirus, but it used to be pretty much like almost weekly or twice a month. And I go there and I learn, and I'll sit and I'll read tarot with like 6 other people. We just switch from one person to the next and we learn from each other. And I try really hard to explore tarot and how I see the cards versus what the meanings are, and I apply it to the readings that way. So I'm very hermity about my my readings as a tarot reader. I don't really like to put myself out there as a tarot reader. I don't really like put out that I do know how to read tarot for other people. I kind of feel like that's better left for people who are more experienced in tarot than me. I don't mind doing like general readings or pulling cards or something like that, but to do a specific one-on-one reading, I'm always terrified that I'm going to get it wrong, or that I'm going to say something that I shouldn't, or any number of things. And I'm working on that. I'm a very passive person, or I have been in the last few years, and I'm trying to work out of being passive and more into the assertive. And I don't know, maybe I'll read tarot for a few people and kind of see if that breaks me out of some passiveness. I don't know, tarot can do all sorts of things. I mean, what better way to get to know somebody than be like, hey, I do tarot readings. I don't know. Here in Casper, I don't know that even work, because Casper's not really big on tarot readings. So, I mean, we've got this big holistic fair and they do tarot readings and stuff like that there. I'm not one of the tarot readers. So anyways, this has been my, the hashtag myself in tarot. Hopefully this lets you guys get to know me a little bit better. I think all the cards reflect me well. So if you disagree or agree, feel free to tell me in the comments. And if you've done this hashtag, let me know. I'll come view yours. I am going to click the hashtag and go watch everybody. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a very great day.